Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all been having a very happy and productive week. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you my exam morning routine, or the sort of things I would do the morning of an exam or final when I was in university. And I'm also going to share with you some tips or advice on the things you can do in the mornings before your exams to minimize or combat stress and just be able to walk into the exam venue feeling really confident and knowing that you're going to be able to perform at your absolute best on the day. So I hope you guys find today's video helpful, and if you do, thumbs up to let me know and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And right before we get into today's video, I just wanted to let you guys know, if you didn't know, I have finally revived my second channel, my vlogging channel, Life with Jess. So if you want to check out some extra videos, check out my vlogs and also behind the scenes, I will link that down below so you can go subscribe after you watch this video. Okay, so first thing that I wanted to say with your exam morning routine is whenever I would have an exam, I would be feeling pretty nervous. So I usually didn't get the best night's sleep the night before. I'd tend to just wake up really early. It wasn't really broken sleep, but I'd get up at like 6 or 7 a.m, which wasn't exactly the best thing for me because then I would have quite a few hours just waiting around at home till I had to leave to go to my exams. So my advice here is if you wake up early the morning of your exams, actually get out of the house. So whether it's to go for a walk, get some fresh air, or go to your local cafe and grab a tea, grab a coffee. If you're anything like me and you're a little bit nervous about something, then sitting at home or just lying in bed, tossing and turning is not going to make the matter any better. Okay, now that we are back home and it's time to get ready to leave for our exam, there's a couple things we need to do. First off, you want to get dressed. So whenever I would take my exams, I'd make sure to wear something really comfy. Now, please don't judge me, but I always used to wear the same thing that I wore the day before my exam. So whatever I was wearing in the library when I was studying, I'd usually wear like the same sweater or the same sweater and leggings. Now, I don't know if it's really a thing and it definitely makes a difference. However, I think it's all up here. But if you do study in the same location or wear the same clothes or chew the same food or smell the same scent, all those sort of things are apparently meant to help you to recall the information that you were learning when you were studying when you take your exam. So if you have like lucky underwear or lucky socks, then you can totally wear them for your exam too. I'm just funny like that, but maybe you guys aren't like that. If you do have a lucky pencil or a lucky item of clothing, or you like to wear the same thing when you study as when you take your exams, please comment below so I don't feel so alone. And then talking about clothes, it's important to dress to impress. Now, I don't really mean that in the sense that your examiners are going to actually care what you're wearing. But for me, I find if I am dressed appropriately, if I feel like I'm clean, I've done my hair, my nails are nicely painted. Don't look at them now because they're chipped. So it's nice to just freshen up before your exams, have a shower, wash your hair, paint your nails if that makes you feel a little bit more confident, and just make sure that you're not rocking up to your exam wearing really baggy, ripped clothes, really grungy kind of clothes. I just feel like if you dress the part, then you're more likely to perform in the same way. Okay, now we can't actually leave the house before doing something very, very, very important, which is fueling your body because, as you guys know, food is fuel. So you can actually check out my previous brain food playlist, and I'm actually going to be doing a lot more cooking videos on my second channel, Life with Jess, as well. But I really think it's so important that you fuel your body with the right kind of nutrition, that you're nourished and that you're able to focus during your exams. So you don't want to rock up to your exam and be sitting a 2 or 3 hour long assessment only to hear your stomach grumbling and gurgling because you're so hungry and you're lacking focus because you haven't eaten enough. So I really recommend that you opt for something healthy and nutritious in the morning, something high in protein, low GI, something that doesn't contain processed sugars. I really like the idea of having just like some smashed avo on toast with smoked salmon, or even making something like breakfast muffins the night before, or buckwheat pancakes. Even a smoothie with oats and berries, banana, that can be something that's going to keep you feeling full for longer. Now, if you're one of those people though whose stomach is absolutely churning because you are feeling highly anxious before your exam, and I've been there, sometimes I'd have a good breakfast and other times I just couldn't stomach anything, then make sure to take some snacks with you, even just a muesli bar in your pocket or an apple as you walk to the exam venue. You might actually feel a little bit more hungry once you actually get there and you've got a bit more time just to familiarize yourself with the location. So if you didn't eat breakfast, then take some snacks with you. And actually, if you did eat breakfast, take snacks anyway and a bottle of water because you never know if you're going to be a little bit peckish, especially if your exams go for a long time. Now, one thing that I would do, because I am such a type A personality, is I'd always try and get to my exam venue with at least 15 to 20 minutes to spare. If anything, I probably got to my exam venues earlier than that because I like to familiarise myself with the exam venue. It does help to reduce anxiety, and also if you want to take some flashcards with you to the venue, then just review them before you actually go inside. And again, like I mentioned earlier, studying the information in the same location as you take the assessment is actually a really handy way to help your brain recall the information later on. Now, speaking of revising and also getting to the exam venue early, you'll probably be bumping into some of your friends. Personally, I would try and meet up with my friends before the exam. I just felt like I needed my little study buddies around me to hold my hand. I was pretty anxious when I was in high school. When I got into uni, I was much better, but I feel like any of my friends who I studied with at university are going to be watching this video and just recalling all those times where I was practically holding their hand as we walked through the exam doors, just because I was a little bit nervous, and I don't know, it just made me feel a little bit more supported as well. Now, you guys might know that I am a very big advocate for using positive affirmations. So the next tip is sort of relating to affirmations, but also a little bit of just positive self-talk. So if you ever feel really nervous going into the exams, something that I actually did in my third year of university, I picked up this trick and it really helped me. I wrote on some flashcards some positive messages that were based on truths. So things that I could actually write down to remind myself of my capabilities and that things are probably going to go really, really well, so there's no need to stress. It just gets you into the right kind of mindset, and honestly, if you're in a positive mindset, you're more likely to perform a lot better on your exams as well. So self-doubt really can impact your grades in a bad way. Okay, so pretty much all of those tips that I've shared, they're everything that I would do the morning of my exams, and it really did help me just to feel a lot more confident, a lot less stressed. So I really recommend that you try and integrate some or all of those tips into your morning routines before you head to your exams this year and also in the future. But I'm going to share with you some last minute exam tips now, and also a little bit of advice, because I've had a lot of requests for those kind of tips on this channel lately, so I thought I'd do it in this video. Thought it's important to mention that you probably should have been revising throughout the year or semester for these exams, and not just the 3 weeks beforehand. So you should be making your weekly summaries, and if you guys haven't checked out my educational stationery line, Educationary, then check out the green exam summary book, because there's different templates inside to help you structure your notes and your weekly readings so you can condense everything down into just a couple of pages. It makes for a really handy exam revision tool, so definitely check it out. But the whole point is you should not be leaving your work to the very last minute. However, in saying that, if you did happen to have things coming up in life, I know that life gets in the way sometimes, then I understand you may not be completely prepared walking into your exams. So I will say this, it's very important to focus on what your teacher talked about in class the most and give that the most attention before you walk into your exams. So rather than trying to revise the whole unit guide and all of the subtopics in that course, I would recommend you just focus on the really important stuff, the meaty parts of the subject, the stuff that's more likely to be examined on that test, and also be weighted more heavily. All the little nitty-gritties that make for really great multi-choice questions or short answer questions, that's great to revise if you've got a bit more time. But if you're really, really pressed for time and you actually have left things to the last minute, then focus on that kind of material instead. I also wanted to give you some stress tips or stress buster tips. So if you're in your exam and you find that you're feeling really anxious, maybe you're feeling a little bit sick to your stomach, because I've been there, trust me, it's no fun. There are a couple things that you can do even if you're just about to start your exam. So first off, I really recommend that you guys try some deep breathing. Inhale to the count of 4 and lengthen your exhalations to be longer than your inhalations. You can actually add a movement to your breathing as well, and it's going to help you be more grounded and get you out of your head and all that mental chatter. So if you want to inhale and use your fingers to help you keep track of the time, then just inhale 2, 3, 4, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and go the other way one more time, 5, 6, 7, 8. So inhale to 4, exhale for 8. And that's really going to help you to switch on your parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to help calm your mind. And if you've already begun writing and working on your exam, but you feel like you're getting quite anxious, then something that I would do is, and I know that you might be stressing because there's only limited time to complete your assessments, but take even just 2 minutes, get up, go to the bathroom and splash some water on your face, have a sip of water. just look in the mirror and compose yourself, do a bit of breathing in the bathroom, and then come back, you'll be amazed that just distancing yourself from a situation, even momentarily, can really give you the space that you need and the clarity to come back and perform at your best. And I'm talking about that for anything in life. If anything is stressing you out or anything is getting a little bit too overwhelming, just walk away for even a minute and come back, and you'll be able to smash it out no matter what the task is. Now, the last thing I wanted to say for this video, we're getting into a bit of a pep talk here. I wanted to give you some advice. I wanted to make sure that you guys aren't freaking out when you walk into the exams because you think that it's the be all and end all. Now, of course, I want you guys to try hard in your exams. I want you to take your studies seriously. And yes, your exams or tests are important, but they're all part of your academic journey, and they are measures of assessment. They are not there to assess how smart you are, how good you are, whether you're better or worse than anyone else in your class, any of your peers. They're actually there, first of all, for you to assess how effectively you've studied, whether you need to implement any changes to your study routines, and also for your lecturers or tutors or class teachers to work out if they've been teaching the material effectively, whether the students have gotten a good grasp of the subject. So it's not there to affect your level of confidence or influence how you perceive yourself. It's just there to assess how well you studied for a particular subject at a particular time. And if you don't perform the way that you were hoping to, it just means you need to try another approach. Sometimes certain subjects take a little bit longer for certain people to grasp them effectively, and same with assessments such as essays or lab reports. I've been there. I used to find statistics incredibly hard, and I was really bad at writing lab reports. And after I completed my third year of psychology, stats was actually my best subject, and my grades on my lab report had improved immensely. So you've just got to cut yourself some slack and yes, do your best, enjoy the learning process, but your tests, exams, assessments, they're all part of the learning journey, and it's not there to affect how you see yourself, and it's not there for other people to judge you either. So I hope you guys feel confident walking into your finals and exams in the middle of this year or at the end of the year. I know that the academic year is really differently structured in Australia to overseas like Europe and USA. So I apologize if the timing is not the best for this video, but I know that a lot of you guys do have your finals coming up, so I really wanted to get around to filming this video. And don't forget to check out my previous video, subscribe to this channel and my vlog channel. I'm so excited to be vlogging. I cannot tell you, I've been vlogging like crazy lately, so I hope you guys are enjoying those videos, and yeah, just make sure you subscribe and you can check them all out. Alright guys, that's all for today. Have a very happy and productive week, and good luck for your exams. Bye!